Hello YouTube pipe community, OTC Piper here, coming with my first video of 2019. I know we're now a week in. It's just been a little crazy for me over the holidays. You know, in my line of work, when someone takes off, you can't just, you know, shut the office and they're going to be off for a couple of days. You know, we got to fill in the spots. And I was lucky enough this year that all of the holidays and the respective eve of the holiday, I had off. And those that were not, you know, was fortunate to get that kind of, and not have the rotation fall on those days for them. You know, they took days off, you know, either before or after to spend time with their families. So we've, you know, kind of had to juggle some things and make sure those spots get filled and everything like that. So, you know, it's just been a little bit crazy, and I haven't been as present as I'd like to be. But I try to do the best that I can with that. Today was like my first day off. I've had days off, but they've just been a little bit squirrely and not according to the, you know, regular rotation. You get on a rhythm of your days on and your days off, and it was a little bit disrupted through the holidays. So anyways, so what I thought I would do is to bring out my 2018 mix that I talked about before. This is where I put any, you know, any leftovers in a tin, or a pouch or something like that. I'll throw them all together. Just, you know, when I don't have enough to fill up another bowl or something like that. And I've saved it over the year in a sealed jar just to enjoy the mix at the end of the year. So I'm going to do that today. And I'll talk more about that after I get my pipe lit. I'm going to, what I also thought I would do is choose my favorite of my pipe acquisitions over the year to use with this blend today. And that's going to be this antique yellow bowl that I found in an antique store, and did some refurbishing work on it. And I took some of the poly that was on it. So it wasn't this light when I first got it. It was a dark color. But I was blown away at some of the beautiful grain that was underneath all that, you know, hard finish. There have been, you know, I do find, you know, the occasional, if you can see it, like where the fills were in the, you know, were filled in and then it was polyed over. I'll leave those in there because I just think it adds to the character of the pipe. I don't mind it being in there at all. And I just like the color of the stem, you know, this mustard color stem, and how it accents with the pipe as it is refinished, you know, in the lighter color. So that's kind of been the, you know, one of my favorites that I picked up. A close second is going to be this Willard pipe that I picked up. Did the same thing with it, and there was some beautiful bird's eye in it and everything. This has been a good smoker too, but I think this one's just going to be a little bit more above it. It's a smaller bowl, you know, which sometimes if I need a quick smoke, you know, I can go to a smaller bowl like this. I mean, you could also just put less in a larger bowl, but I kind of like to be able to fill a bowl up entirely. And that's just kind of my thing. So this is the one I'm going to use today. And this one, and I don't do a lot of in-depth reviews. And, you know, as you may have noticed, I kind of have a pass-fail rating when it comes to a tobacco. There's never really been any tobacco aside from maybe the Captain Black Grape that I just didn't really like. There may be some that I really like and I'll buy again, or I like it, but I probably won't buy it again after I've tried the amount that I'd purchased. And there's a little bit of Latakia that wound up in here. I really enjoy Latakia, but I don't smoke it very often. It's one of those ones I'll get on a special occasion and really enjoy it while I'm smoking it, but it's not my everyday go-to. So there's a lot of, you know, some flake that would be left over, and I would just, you know, rub it out and put it in with a mix. things like my Sir Walter Raleigh, or Raleigh, I would say, this kind of stuff, and like my Granger stuff I buy in the big tubs, they don't really wind up in a mix like this, because this one I just opened. When I get down about halfway, I already have some more on order, and when I open up a new one, the remnants of this one will go into the new one, and I'll let it get down pretty low before I do that. But so this kind of stuff doesn't really wind up in there. So let me go ahead and load this up. I got plenty of time to yak after I get it loaded up. A little piece of flake right there, just got it in. There we go. I think that's going to be some of the Drexel that I've had. I had some of that get kind of dry on me, and instead of reconstitute that, I just figured I would, there's like 2 or 3 flakes. I figured I'd rub them out, put them in here so that they could reconstitute with the rest of the blends that are in it. Okay. Move that over. And that's a really good blend. So I can't tell you everything that wound up in here. It's mostly going to be stuff that I've taken out of a tin, because usually when I pop a new tin, I won't put the small remainder into a new tin. I will in the larger tubs, because there's just the ratio is a little bit greater. So a lot of it is when I finish off a tin, I'll put the rest of it in here. And some of my bulk tobaccos as well. There's a little bit of an aromatic note to this, but one of the more natural aromatic notes. I don't smoke a lot of the, I guess, artificially aromatic, except for maybe some cherry. And there's a little bit of cherry in this. A little bit of that's coming out. But it's been a good year. And I really like doing this. I did this before I really started presenting. And I would... I've long finished that, but I would get about this much in a year. So, hope everyone's 2019 is starting off well and continues to go well throughout. Today, it was a teacher in service day, so my wife had to go to work. My daughter stayed home. So we got to have a good time together. It's been one of the first times I've had a good long period of time where I could go out and do something, especially with my daughter, who hadn't got to see me a lot over the holidays. So and I'm glad for this. She really likes doing the things that I like to do. Most of it probably because it's something that she gets to do with me. But she has gravitated onto these things the way I did when I was her age. So she's gone out hiking with me. She loves to go hiking. She loves to observe nature. She loves rock collecting. I've taken her on a couple of arrowhead hunts before, and she really had a great time. She didn't really look for arrowheads. She liked to look for the pretty rocks, and that's good. It's just kind of her thing. She's got a big collection of them, and she's really easy to please in that way. One thing that we did today, and I thought I would introduce her to a new thing now that she's old enough. She's 9 now. Now that she's old enough to handle some more stuff and really appreciate it and know what she's doing. I I took her out to do another hobby of mine that I haven't done it in quite a while, since before I got married, but I just recently decided to start taking it up again, which is relic hunting, like metal detecting. Now, I was hoping to get some good video that I could tack on at the end of this one. I thought I'd see how she did at first, and it was kind of we had kind of a hard time because we've just gotten a lot of rain. It was a beautiful day today, but the ground was like a swamp, and so we were trying to get through. There's a park, a derelict park that I have access to, and that I've done a historic map overlay and found a bunch of homesteads or some kind of structure that have been long demolished, and it's just an open grassy field, and you can see a lot of the mounds where the roads were built up through there and the pad sites that the houses were on. And I was kind of helping to get her interested in history through that. She just was really fascinated to see the remnants of it still there that you wouldn't see unless you're looking for it. And she found some nails, and we found some old pull tab beer cans and things like that. We it was just so soupy. It was just kind of hard for her. I love that kind of stuff. She's just getting into it. So we kind of cut it short. Hopefully we'll get some good video I can tack on to the end. And so that's kind of where I was going with coming up into 2019. I've tried to vary my content just because, like I said before, I don't do a lot of like in-depth pipe reviews, and I like to have stuff that I could talk about, and some of it may or may not be pipe related. I just figure, well, while I'm talking about it, I'll enjoy pipe with you and just share that side. If you follow me from the beginning, you'll see my intro video. There's just no way I could describe everything that I am into in just one, short video. It would be a rather long video. I just have a lot of hobbies. I like to go out and do stuff and to live my life fully. So there's a lot of things I like to go out and do besides just sit at home and watch TV. So some of that stuff will be coming out this year, and try to keep things interesting. Hope I don't get in too much trouble without not putting things out that are not pipe related, but I just like to be keep some interesting things coming out. So I had an idea. What I was going to do is I was going to share some of my 2018 mix. I'll probably take maybe a quarter of this just so I can smoke on it for a little while. But I was gonna divide up the rest of it, and I'm going to do a really simple type giveaway. Is I'm going to check after 24 hours to make sure a good people have a chance, good amount of people have a chance to view the video and everything. And what I would like to do is make it only about one thing. You don't have to do a VR or anything. You can if you want to. You can just drop some comments in. But I would like to know something that I could do better on my channel that would increase what I have to offer. So any views that you may have, don't worry about hurting my feelings or anything like that. I would just like some kind of an idea of something that you notice that I could be doing better, or something that I haven't been doing that I should be doing or could do a little bit more of. So that's what I'd like to leave you with. If you'll, right now it's the 7th. It's about 11 o'clock, coming up on 11 o'clock Central Time. And so I'll give an extra hour. I'll check it at, well, I'll tell you what, I got to work, Wednesday morning, so I'm going to be going to bed early. So I'm going to check when I get up Wednesday morning. So that's more than 24 hours. When I get up Wednesday morning, I'm going to check the comments. And those comments, all the people that are listed on the comments, I'm going to divide up my mix, I call it my mix 2018. I'm going to divvy up my 2018 mix equally among those that many commenters. So if you want to go drop a comment, also go to otcpiper@gmail.com and you can put in your shipping information. So I'll have it, and I'm going to just as a thanks for a good heads up and some ideas of what I could do better for you. just give you a little taste of my 2018. So we're coming up on 15 minutes. I'll go ahead and sign off with that. OTC Piper wishing everybody all the best, and just here's to a great 2019 coming up. Good times and a warm pipe.